So we got this really cute Mercedes 170 from Airfix. It's a pretty old kit as far as I can tell. I haven't done any research on it or on the subject. Okay, the copyright is from Hamro Limited in 1990. Yeah, I think that's the vintage of the kit. It's probably a repop because the box is in pretty good shape and it wasn't all that expensive, so certainly nothing collectible. In the beginning of the project was, of course, CT's idea to build a Pro Street Citroen. I've sent him when I bought a kit pretty cheap, and you know, it had CT written all over it. So I sent it to CT and he decided to turn it Pro Street, and that totally got me started on this Mercedes 170 here. Hot rodding was the thing I was aiming for. So the first order of business, of course, was choosing an engine because the Mercedes 170 doesn't really pop an engine that is very exciting. Well, since this Mercedes here was a glue bump, this was a pre-assembled, but you can see that is really not much of a motor here. Not really exciting, even though it probably could be used in some other fashion to advantage, but it didn't occur to me that this would be so super. So I decided to take the engine of a 64 GTO with a high-rise manifold, and of course that needed some adjustment to the frame of the Mercedes, because, you know, just in size comparison, just where is it? There you go. You see one engine, the other engine. Of course there's a major size discrepancy between the two. So first order of business was adjusting the chassis, and you can see here it's already mocked up. I started by designing a front end that would be able to hold this engine, and you can see it actually fits in there pretty well. You can see it's a combination of older kit parts and new construction. The back of the chassis here is just standard kit part, but actually cut here where it came short of what I needed. One special thing about this build is actually that I didn't use a low bar for the front axle. So actually all the rolling chassis came up pretty high, a lot higher than I wanted to, but still you can see in the Mercedes these fenders here, they do not provide that much space for, you know, some sporty tires. So I couldn't go too low anyway because there wasn't enough space on the fender top. So what had to be done really was to raise the rear axle, and I used this by introducing a spacer back here looking like a spring, and I used two springs from, oh, what is the company? Czech company. I forget it. Okay, when I remember I will tell you. Well, actually, just to show you, this was the kit part that was supposed to be back here. Well, can you see it? Back there? Well, kind of. Okay, so I had to raise this, and yeah, well, you can see how high it is sitting off the ground. Well, just let me get you in just a little closer. There you go. So, okay, I hope this starts. Okay, this gives you a pretty good impression how high, actually you can see here, my finger easily fits underneath the chassis. But it fits pretty well. You can see there's a double spring leaf suspension for the front axle. There's no steering mechanisms and sway bar and things like that still have to be done. Now, of course, having this extended front end gave me the problem that, of course, the fender and body would not fit together anymore, and of course, as you can see here in the back, the connection between the fender and the body would actually be open because I had to move the axle forward, and that would create problems, of course, fitting everything. So I think I'm going to show you a couple of pictures, slideshow-like, to illustrate what I had done. Here you can see the body sitting on the chassis and the front fender assembly with the outer grille laid out. The problem was really to get the front fenders really to shape up to the form of the body, and so I had to fix the outer grille, the cooler grille, to give this stability. And here you can see the resulting gap from extending the front end, and you can see it's not a little thing really, so that had to be filled up. But before I did that, I thought about working on the body first, because with all the extended front end attached to the body already, that would always bear the risk of breaking it off again, and I didn't dare risking that. So working the body was really first order of business after this step. Here you can see the body without all the trim. I've shaved basically everything off to be able to give it a smooth surface. And as the car was sitting on the chassis, I really thought, okay, that looks a lot like a 170 Mercedes. Why not do something special with it? And that's when I got the idea to coupe the thing. And to do that, I just started to cut out a segment of the roof, and then basically filled the resulting gap with layers of plastic that had to be cut down and smoothed over, sanded over, filled and sanded, and in multiple steps to give the shape of the roof, or to follow the shape of the roof. Here you can see when I put in a support to carry the extended roof, and you can see multiple layers of putty that have been sanded down to make a uniform surface between the roof extensions and the roof part. Looking at the result, I thought it would be probably very difficult to get a smooth and flowing coupe shape into the trunk area. So I decided to go a different way and take the easy way out and put in something like a loading bay of a pickup truck. That was basically all made from styrene sheet, and you can see lots of filling and sanding had to be done to make a uniform surface for the trunk area. Fitting the roof was next order of business, and that went pretty well, even though it took, I don't know, 5 or 6 times of filling over and sanding, but finally the shapes came together pretty well, and I can say that it looks pretty good right now. With the rear of the car finished, I turned my attention to the front end and closing the gap between the body and the fender assembly. Here you can see that I put in plastic sheet and plastic rod and whatever suited my needs to get that gap filled before starting to smooth everything down, then going in with filler and smoothing again, and filler and smoothing and filler and smoothing. And you know the process. That's very tedious, and I think this took me, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours minimum to get to a satisfactory result. I can still see there are some wavy lines down there, and I probably go in and try to smooth it over again, but I'm not really sure about this. I will decide this after the next layer of primer. Yeah, and this is where we are sitting now. You can see the rolling chassis is working. There's not a whole lot of detail to it yet. Of course, there's going to be a whole lot of hoses and electrical lines and things to be added to the engine, but I decide to do that later on. Then there is the body. You can see I've in certain areas I have smoothed over again, and yeah, well, I was lucky enough to be able to construct this to very, very easily slide in here, and everything basically just goes into place pretty easily. There you go. Just the rear, just the inset for the pickup truck for the loading bay, and yeah, basically having these large areas over here to or that came with closing the gap between the body and the roof over here. I thought it was the perfect place to actually put in our exhausts like that. Yeah, pretty much like that. Well, you know, it's a little crooked. These things do fit pretty well, but lining them up is something that needs a steady hand, of course. There you go. How do you like that? I like it a lot. And then in the original Mercedes, up here is the gas tank. And I decided to stay with that concept, only that I build a mounting. I hope this will hold, so I'm going to stop the camera right now to install that, because you know this is going to be a little bit fiddly here. Just a second. There you go. The gas tank mounting is in place, as you can see. And what I have here is a turned aluminum bottle, pressure bottle, actually from some German company, Scale Productions. They make this. This is Ölbehälter, oil container. And in this set there was this bigger one here, and it's going to be my gas tank sitting right there. Let me line that up a little. Yeah, it's a little crooked, of course. I mean, this is all mock-up state, so gotta give me some leeway on that. So you can see there. And now a little details to the engine carburetors, and I think you call them velocity stacks, I'm not sure. There you go. And number 2. I haven't been finishing this engine because I have lost the rear part of the manifold, the cover. I had to buy another Pontiac kit to get a replacement, but now I have it. It's still in the braking fluid to strip down the chrome. But anyway, you go. This is the Mercedes 170. I haven't really picked a name for it yet. I like to really give names to my projects, and I haven't picked one for this. So it's a little bit due to the fact that I don't know how to proceed from here, because I'm having a bit of a problem making up my mind if this should be a hot rod, a red rod, or post-apocalyptic. And I would really, really appreciate if you guys gave me an idea what you thought this would be best. Hot rod, really, with, shiny exterior, polished wood, and show quality engine, or if this should be a red rod, or if that would be a possibility, if this should be a post-apocalyptic Mad Max rider. I don't know. I can't really make up my mind. But this is actually where the push comes to shove, and I need to make a decision, because next I'm going to turn to the interior. And of course, I can't put a show car quality interior into a post-apocalyptic desert racer. So what do you think, folks? What do you think this should be? Let me know below in the comments. And well, I hope you like the progress so far. I hope it's inspiring some of you to try your tricks on a European design. You can see there's a lot of sex appeal in these too, if you do it right. At least I think it's pretty cool. And well, this is it for this time, and I hope to see you soon here at TaylorMade Scale Modeling. Bye bye.